General Prosecutor Arta Marcu has issued strong criticism to Tirana's prosecutors by saying that the responsibility for any unprocessed issue will be borne by the individual. International efforts to adopt electoral reform with political consensus continue, with the German ambassador attending a meeting with Damian Jignuri where the focus of the discussion was changes in the electoral code. France appreciates the fact that there has been a decrease in the number of Albanian asylum seekers during 2018, with Minister Leshaj saying that cooperation between the two countries continues. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 27th of March, 2019. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to rtvора's English edition. My name is Alexandra, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. Making headlines tonight in giving the annual analysis of Tirana's prosecution, Acting Chief Prosecutor Arta Marcu has criticised her subordinates for not focusing enough on investigating important issues. During her speech addressed to the prosecutors, Marcu said there were very few cases that have been officially registered and that they have been even less actually sent for trial. Marcu said that each individual prosecutor bears personal responsibility for this issue. She asked for prosecutors not to respond to political harassment and instead to work independently. It has been a very busy year. Some prosecutors have shown that they know how to work with such multidimensional pressure. But some other prosecutors from within your ranks have brought shame to the reputation of prosecutors. They misuse the function of penal prosecution by extracting information and documentation without caring about the confidentiality of the investigative secret or about the basic principles upon which to exercise their function. They were so focused on not being caught for doing what they should not do, that they actually forgot to do their job and be proactive when investigations needed to be carried out. Some of these issues you've been working on for months have become topics in every television debate, the headline of every print media, and have troubled politics in the country. Each one of you knows well what is correct and what is not. You know how to use the issues kept in your drawers to be used for your own certain interests. The interest should be the investigation and clarification of events for all issues, be they old or new. You have to do this at all costs to restore dignity to the victim and to convince the public opinion that this is a constitutional and investigative body, not a supermarket where everything has its price. In its beginnings, the prosecution of serious crimes had been the most qualitative prosecution, but this is declining because of interference based on personal interests. I urge you to focus on work to investigate issues that have shaken public opinion and troubled politics in the country. The investigation should be independent and comprehensive. Keep the media away from the investigation. Journalists are not part and should not be part of the investigative group as you are handling them. Do not neglect wealth investigations under the anti-mafia law, which, for the sake of truth, need to be addressed. Crime and corruption must be fought every day, concluded Arta Marcu, delivering a strong message for the prosecutors of Tirana. The Internationals seek the approval of electoral reform prior to the June 30th elections as one of the priority conditions for opening negotiations. German Ambassador Susanne Schutz attended a meeting at the Socialist Party headquarters with the SP Secretary for Electoral Reform, Damian Jignuri, for about 1 hour today. After the meeting with the German ambassador, Jignuri said in a post on Facebook that the Socialist Party is committed to efforts to advance electoral reform with political consensus. He added that this will occur in close consultation with the international institutions tasked with monitoring the standards for free and fair elections. The Socialists have repeatedly called for the opposition to return to the Parliament and to sit down at a joint table in order to approve the changes to the electoral code. However, until now, there is still no positive response from the Democratic Party or the Socialist Movement for Integration. The Socialist Party has not yet excluded the possibility of adopting the draft law in the Assembly without the presence of the opposition, but based on negotiations with the 17 new MPs who have recently been sworn in. Although the situation has improved since 2017, Albanian asylum seekers in France continue to remain a concern for authorities there. After meeting with his French counterpart and other officials, the Albanian Interior Minister said he is working to reduce the number of Albanian asylum seekers. The topic of discussion between the two interior ministers was focused on the illegal immigration of Albanians into France. Leshaj said Albania is considered a safe country of origin, and as such, the chances of Albanians receiving asylum in France are zero. We consider the issue of illegal immigration of special importance. We have found that this still remains an important issue in the relations between the two sides. Unfortunately, there are still a number of Albanians who apply without any hope, but still apply for asylum in France. Both the French authorities and ours emphasise that conditions for asylum seekers in France do not exist. Albania is considered a country of safe origin, and the chances of obtaining asylum in France are zero, explained Leshaj in a media announcement. Decreasing instances of applications for asylum by Albanian nationals was the objective of French authorities in declaring Albania as a safe country of origin. Interior Minister Christophe Castaner wrote on Twitter after the meeting with Sandor Leshaj that in 2018 there were 25% fewer applications for asylum than in 2017. We reaffirm our commitment to the joint action against illegal immigration from Albania to France, said Canister. Given that France has been sceptical of Albania's ability to meet and adhere to EU standards and were hesitant to give support last year, Minister Leshaj sought assurances from French authorities that Albania was progressing in the right direction. A day before another opposition protest is expected to take place in front of the Assembly, the Socialist Movement for Integration calls on citizens to unite for a free country without a government related to crime. Former SMI MP Petrit Vasili said the shocking facts that emerged from the recent audio tapping will remain unresolved in the memory of Albanians. Albanians refuse and will never accept for themselves, their children, their family members to be governed by a criminal government which has completely betrayed its citizens by robbing, hijacking and even violating them. No citizen is afraid of this government. Every citizen will be on the square to protest and to remove this government once and for all. Once again, shocking facts have been revealed recently, including the audio tapping, and it is this evidence that remains in the minds of the Albanians as they flock to the streets in protest tomorrow, said the SMI's Petrit Vasili. Although the student card is an obligation to be realised by the universities, the municipality of Tirana and the Education Ministry have expressed their readiness to assist in fulfilling this requirement. During a meeting with 20 students starting work experience within the municipality of Tirana, Mayor Veliaj said more than 40 services will be offered at reduced costs for students. According to Veliaj, students will also be able to benefit from discounted private services. We have set a legal deadline for the university administrations to establish the student card. Privileges also come with responsibilities. So by being a dean, they should also adhere to the responsibilities of those tasks. If they do not do this by the end of the month, we have taken measures that the municipality, in cooperation with the Education Ministry, will be the first to make the municipal student card. Meanwhile, the City Council has already made decisions regarding 40 services, which today are already offered at a lower cost for students, advised Veliaj. Regarding the Youth Support Initiative for the 3-month internship of this institution, Veliaj said that this opportunity will add value for them in the future. I consider this the beginning of a beautiful journey as a team member within the municipality of Tirana. Initially, you commence with a few months paid practice and then, of course, to come and work as a full-timer or even to move to other government institutions, maybe even the private sector. I hope the city's experience can enrich your career, added Veliaj. Veliaj concluded by stating work experience is useful for familiarising potential employees with achieving concrete results through work. It also provides insight into the organisational culture of the municipality of Tirana, and it is also a well-known institution that is seen positively on applications for work in both state and private institutions. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of rtvora, thank you and good night.